It's time to finally see what absolute Zatanna is capable of. Diana stumbles away as the magical fire flares around her. She clutches at the stump where her arm used to be as the flames lick at her skin. "Burn her through," the fiery skeleton says in his backwards magic. "Fear not, demon. Once we have burned you clean, who knows what fate might await you," the skeleton tells her. But Diana shakes her head. She has to get away. She leaps into the air and flies high above the city, trying to flee, but her magic wavers. She is still depowered by the other witch. Quickly, she feels her abilities wane and she tumbles from the sky and slams into the waters of the bay below. In the city, Barbara ducks behind a corner, the flaming skeleton stalking the streets nearby. She stares after Diana, shocked that her friend would leave her. She left me," Barbara whispers to herself. In the bay, Diana sinks deeper and deeper into the water's depths, but suddenly she is not alone. Pegasus plunges into the cold water and scoops her up. Shortly, they arrive at the Hyron to find a surprised Ferdinand and Petra. "Diana!" the Minotaur shouts as he helps her off Pegasus's back. Petra reaches for Diana's pouch and begins to pull out the herbs that she needs. "An unknown has entered the Hyron," the magical wards announce. Ferdinand whirls to find the witch floating before him. He glares at her. "Who are you? Did you do this to her?" he demands angrily. Zatanna shakes her head. "Not on purpose," she says. Ferdinand readies himself for a fight, but Zatanna merely smiles and steps past him. "Listen, I'm delighted she's got her own menagerie at home, but can any of you do magic? If not, get the hell out of my way," Zatanna tells him as she pats him on the arm on the way past. She leans over the Amazon, who groans as the magical fire burns her from the inside. "First things first," Zatanna whispers. "Diana of the Wild Isle, I unbind you. Your voice belongs to you alone." Zatanna whispers in her backwards magic. Diana's eyes immediately open, and her hand snaps out, grabbing Zatanna by the throat. She pushes Zatanna away and struggles to her feet, the fire inside her fading. Zatanna backs away, her hands up in surrender. Now, if curing you of that spell and unbinding you in my presence doesn't buy me a pass, I don't know what," the witch starts to say. But Diana casts her own spell. Green magic sparks against Zatanna's skin and pushes her back. "Hey!" Zatanna snaps angrily as the green energy sparks again and again. "Lightning strike!" Zatanna snaps backwardly. Lightning cracks from the sky and slams into the ground where Diana stands. The light fades and reveals an empty, smoking crater. Zatanna's eyes widen in surprise. "Abracadabra," Diana whispers from behind her. She wraps her powerful arm around Zatanna's throat, silencing her as she drags the witch to the ground. Zatanna struggles against the Amazon's strength, but she quickly signs phase backwards and makes her body intangible. She floats effortlessly through Diana's body to safety before becoming corporeal again and lashing out with her punk rock boots. But Diana catches the blow and yeets the witch into the air. Zatanna counters this by calling forth magical wings that allow her to fly, before casting another lightning strike on Diana. The blow slams into the Amazon, who quickly throws up a magical shield to take the brunt of the attack. Zatanna glares down at the warrior. "A long swim," she whispers backwardly. The water from the Hyron's pool snakes out and grabs hold of Diana's foot, dragging her into the water. But Diana doesn't struggle. She allows herself to be pulled under. Can you hear me? Diana thinks as she closes her eyes. There is a brief pause before the pool's occupant speaks in her mind. I hear you, princess, the voice whispers. The pool suddenly explodes upwards and slams into Zatanna, engulfing Zatanna in a ball of water and silencing her. No more talking, magician. No signing either, Diana gasps. Poseidon's trident floats next to her, controlling the water that flows around them. Diana glares at Zatanna, watching as the witch begins to struggle, her eyes rolling up as the oxygen in her lungs begins to run out. Finally, Diana relents. Let her go, she says with a sigh. As you wish, the trident says. The ball of water bursts, and Zatanna tumbles to the ground, gasping for air. Diana stares down at her, now flanked by her friends in the Hyron. You are quite the witch, Zatanna. Fortunately for me, I make friends everywhere I go, Diana tells her. Zatanna nods her head and coughs out more water. I know! That's why I came here to save you, she gasps. Diana stares at her for a moment. Fine. I saved you after I bound you. I apologize. I recognize it is a cardinal sin of witches to do such a thing to another witch, blah blah blah. I'm sorry. I had few options, Diana. You haven't even met Kale yet, Zatanna tells her. Diana stands and helps Zatanna to her feet. Kale sent you, she questions. Zatanna nods and explains that Kale sent the whole team, though Zatanna was unsure how she was controlling them. I thought the only way to not hurt you was to take your voice in advance. I'm sorry I couldn't think of anything better. I promise, I tried very hard, Zatanna explains. Diana begins to lead her through the Hyron, questioning the magical fire that burned her from the inside. You know this spell? Diana asks. Zatanna nods. I do, and it's why I can't help you, though I'd like to. The witch you fought can only be my father, Giovanni Zatara. Zatanna starts to explain, but Diana merely nods. I see. I would never ask you to harm your own father, Diana says as she begins to gather components for a spell to replace her arm. Zatanna explains that she can't fight against her own father, that she wants to save him. I could help you get your arm back, though. Might speed things up a bit, she says. But Diana shakes her head as she gathers her ingredients and walks into the shadows of the glade. Thank you, but you have not earned that trust yet, Diana calls over her shoulder. Zatanna watches her disappear for a moment before Ferdinand joins her. Phew. High standards, huh? Zatanna asks him. The Minotaur nods solemnly. She demands from us only what she herself gives, he rumbles softly. Shortly, lightning strikes, and Diana steps from the glade with a new arm and clad in her warrior's armor. She steps up to Zatanna with her helm in hand. I have to go. I'll try my best not to kill your father, Zatanna. And I wish you well in your quest to free him and be reunited, Diana tells her. Zatanna nods her thanks. Don't let Kale get her hands on you. I cursed them, Zatanna whispers to her. Shortly, Diana returns to Gateway City on the back of Pegasus. The pair fly above the destruction left in Zatara's wake. Below them, Queen Ara walks quietly through the streets. The queen looks up as Diana swoops down, but the Amazon holds up her hands in surrender. I mean you no harm, Ara. In fact, I bring freedom and hope, Diana says. She pulls free a magical orb and throws it at the ground. Pink smoke swirls around Ara, and the queen coughs up the parasite that allows Kale to control her. The parasite burns away from the magical fire on the ground. Slowly, Diana reaches up and removes her helm. I freed some of your menfish from Kale's sealed maze. The last I saw them, they were swimming north of the bay, Diana explains. Ara stares at her for a moment. Thank you, She finally thinks as she turns towards the waters of the bay, but she pauses and turns back. Giganta won't leave if you free her. Don't trust her. Zatanna perhaps cannot be freed at all, Ara says before turning and running to the waiting waters. Nearby, Pegasus swoops down and lets out a burst of hellfire at the rampaging witch. Diana sighs and makes her way through the city. Demon! You fiends murdered my daughter, and I'll burn you all down, one by one if I must. Come out and meet your fate, Zatanna bellows. Diana prepares herself. She reaches into her pouch and pulls out a glowing green lasso and closes her eyes. Sisters, wait for me. Mother, protect me. Hecate, guide me. For the Troika leaves you changed. She steps out into the street and stands before Zatanna, prepared for battle. Giovanni Zatanna, you now face Diana of the Wild Isle and the Troika. The Troika knows your secrets and will break you of them. She bellows as the flames flare all around her. And that was the complete story for Absolute Wonder Woman, issue 18 by Kelly Thompson. Finally a bigger display of Absolute Zatanna's magic, and the reveal that the skeleton was her father all along. Did you guess correctly? Let me know in the comments down below. And like and subscribe to help out the channel. I'm Dan with Comicstorian, and we will see you next time. Rest in peace, Benny.